Good morning, Facebook. Happy Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. I hope you're all having an awesome week. I just wanted to jump on really quickly and give you guys a super important message that could potentially drastically change your life in a matter of days and weeks and months if you can learn to apply this principle. I'm just going to wait for a couple of you guys to hop on. Facebook has been doing this really weird thing lately where it's not showing me comments until I hop off. So if you are here watching me live, let me know that you're here. Say hi, drop me some love bombs, let me know where you're from, how your week's been, what you're doing. All right, let me just get straight into it. So I wanted to talk about this subject because when I chat to clients and friends and family, even myself, right? This can come up, and I understand emotions and I understand getting emotional when things aren't going your way or when things aren't working out in your favor. And what I want you guys to understand about emotions is I am the first one, or I'll be the first one to tell you that you need to feel your emotions. Emotions are there to be felt. Emotions are there so that we can heal when we need to be healed. We need to feel them, and we need to allow ourselves to feel them deeply if we're going to, hey Marissa, if we're going to move through whatever we're moving through. But the problems with emotions are when we're using them or when we're feeling them towards something that we have no control over, or towards something that requires us to take action, to come up with a solution and to move forward. Because whether you're building a business, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're trying to fix your health, your wealth, it doesn't matter what it is, we have to learn to become unemotional if we're really going to take quantum leaps forward. Because if we become emotional about it, right? If we become emotional about things, we don't move forward. We stay exactly where we are because we're in our head. We're feeling sorry for ourselves. And one of the quickest ways to stay where you are, and one of the quickest ways to not do anything and to not move forward, is to stay stroppy and frustrated and upset about things that aren't in our control, instead of going, right, this is how it is right now. I can't do anything about it because this part is not in my control. Because there are always going to be things in your life that are in your control, and there are going to be things in your life that aren't in your control. And if you get emotional about the things that aren't in your control, you're going to stay exactly where you are, and you're going to try and move forward from an emotional place. Now, emotions don't move you forward when it comes to solving problems. Emotions will move you forward when you need to heal, when you need to move through something internally, energetically. But I'm going to give you an example, right? There have been times in my business in the past where I had no idea where the next client or where the next dollar was going to come from. Now, I'm talking about when I first became fully employed by myself and I had no one else to rely on. I didn't have the security of another income. And there would be months, and I knew it was me, myself, and I, right? I knew that it was on me to make this work. And there were times in the month where I had no idea when I was going to make the next dollar, where it was going to come from, what I was going to do next. I felt like I had a creative block. I didn't know what I needed to put out there. I didn't know how I was going to get by because I didn't know where the next dollar was going to come from. And one thing I've learned over the last few years when it comes to building my business is that when you want to create success, when you want to move forward quickly, there are certain aspects of your life that you're going to have to learn how to become unemotional about it. And in those moments where I had no idea where I was going to make that next dollar from, I had to go, right, Elisa, this is the situation. This is the situation that is in front of you right now. There are certain aspects about this that you don't have control over. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit here and feel defeated and be upset and get frustrated and feel anger and feel powerless and helpless? Because that's all emotional. That's emotional. And I was not going to find a solution in that headspace. I had to learn over the years to know when to become unemotional towards something, because being unemotional when it comes to building an empire, building any type of success in your life is going to serve you, because it's going to put you in that headspace of, I don't have control over this, but I'm going to focus on what I can control, and I'm going to focus on taking inspired action moving forward, because if I'm going to move through this, that's my only option. That's my only choice. I don't have time to sit in emotion and wallow in self-pity. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay exactly where I am. So if you're at a time in your life, or if you go through certain situations in your life where, like me, you are at a point in your business where you don't know where the next dollar is going to come from, or you don't know how on earth you're going to possibly lose that 20 kilos, and maybe you're stuffed up one day, or maybe something's happening with a friend and you're both becoming emotional about it, and you're not going to move through that. You're not going to find a solution when you become emotional. Remember, I said this, I'm not saying that you cannot be emotional and that you cannot feel emotions. I am 100% telling you that you are allowed to feel what you need to feel when it comes to healing internally, because emotions will serve you then. But when you're in a situation where you don't have the control, or there are certain aspects of it that you don't have control over, if you're going to become emotional about it, you're going to fall very, very quickly. So what I'm telling you in this live stream is, if you're in a situation right now, drop me some love bombs if you are. Hey Vivian, leave me a comment below. Are you in a situation right now where you're becoming stroppy, you're becoming upset, you're feeling defeated, and you're blaming other people, or you're having little bitch sessions towards other people or with other people about this situation, and really neither of you are getting anywhere, and you're certainly not going anywhere? And I get it, this is a muscle just like anything in our life. It's a muscle. Our mindset is a muscle. Our mind is a muscle. We have to train it to serve us, not sabotage us. And this is one of the tools, this is one of the ways where I help my clients understand. I help them understand where they're allowed to feel emotional and where they can feel their emotions when they need to, even in the circumstances where you don't have the control. Still let yourself get upset, get angry, get frustrated, scream if you need to. But let that be this much of the time and energy that you spend. Let that be this much. Because you then have to go, right, this is how it is. This is where I'm at. I need to become unemotional towards this if I'm going to move forward, if I'm going to fix this, if I'm going to find a solution. Because when you get into that solution-based headspace and mindset, and you become unemotionally detached towards it, you then allow yourself to start finding solutions. Inspired action and clarity will come to you. Does that make sense to you guys? If it does, drop me the love bombs, let me know. When you can become unemotional, you step out of the little bubble that you're in, of that anger, frustration, and upset, and you can then start to see clearly around you the other possibilities, the other opportunities, the steps that you can start to take moving forward. I see it time and time again. I've done it myself. Like I said, there were times in my business a couple of years ago where I had no idea how I was going to make it work, where the next dollar was going to come from. And what I had to do in those moments every single time was go, okay, Elisa, this is how it is. This is how it is. You need to become unemotional about this situation right now. Yes, it's upsetting. Yes, it feels scary. Yes, it feels daunting, and there's no certainty. Acknowledge that you feel that, but then get into that unemotional state and go, right, if this was working out, if I could take back the control around a certain area here, what would I do? What inspired action can I take? Universe, throw it at me, hit me, show me what my next step can be, because that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. When I'm in a situation that I don't have full control, that's okay, because I know that there'll be elements that I can control. Even if that control means taking yourself away from the situation completely. That might be what you need to do to take back your power. And I don't mean take back your power in a controlling, sabotaging way. I mean from an empowered place, from an empowered feeling of it's all right. I may not know all the answers right now, and I may not be where I want to be right now. But if I can see this unemotionally, if I can look at this unemotionally and not feel scared and not feel fear and not feel disheartened or unsure, then I can start to ask myself, well, what are the solutions? What are the steps I can take moving forward? This is how I navigate in my everyday life. This is how I'm able to continue growing my business from month to month. Because I know when I can be emotional about things and when I need to switch off my emotions to find solutions and to take step forward. Does this make sense to you guys? Is this resonating with you? Let me know below if this is resonating with you. Emotions are awesome. They're great. But they aren't great when you need to build success. And you will hear so many successful people tell you the same thing, that there are so many moments and points in their life and their business where they have to really become unemotional if they're going to move forward. Because emotions are going to keep you exactly where you are. They're not going to move you forward because you're not seeing things clearly. You're not in a solution-based mindset. You don't feel inspired. When you become unemotional, you then start to become inspired because you're like, well, that's okay, because I'm not focusing on what I don't have or what's not working. I'm going to put myself into the mindset of, if I took back the control right now and I felt empowered, what is it I can be doing? That is going to serve you. That is going to move you forward very, very, very quickly. All right? Yes, I'm such an emotional being and it definitely interferes with my ability to be successful. Exactly, because when we're emotional, what are we doing? It's fear-based a lot of the time. We're feeding ourselves stories that this isn't going to work, you know, I'm doomed, I suck, I'm not capable of doing this, it's not working out. What do we achieve in that space? Nothing. We achieve absolutely nothing because we're feeling sorry for ourselves. We're too emotional. Hey Kylie, we feel too emotional to do anything. So we sit there and then we get more upset and we feel more scared and we feel more fearful. It's in those moments you have to be strong enough to go, yeah, this sucks. This isn't ideal. And I've been upset about it. I've allowed myself to get angry or frustrated. But if I am going to fix this and I'm going to get closer to where I want, I now need to become unemotional about it. Emotions do not build success when things aren't going your way. And I can tell you a lot of people that are building success, they know that they have to make unemotional decisions, or they have to move forward, and the steps that they take have to be unemotional, right? But isn't courage an emotion too? Absolutely. And I said that, Vivian. I said we need to feel emotions in order to feel things. It is courageous to allow yourself to cry and be angry and upset when you need to feel it. It is very courageous to feel emotions, but we're not talking about feeling emotions here, Vivian. We're talking about what it takes when things don't work out your way, or when you're trying to build a business and there are certain things you don't have control over. If you're going to try and move forward from an emotional standpoint, you're not going to be able to, because you're going to be feeling defeated and upset instead of getting into that empowered mindset of, it's okay, I'm not where I am right now, I might not even be close, or I might have no idea how I'm going to make this work, but I sure as hell know if it's going to work, I have to step away from my emotion and I have to become inspired again. Inspired action comes from a place of power. It comes from a place of I've got this either way, and I'm going to take steps either way, right? Allow yourself feel it. Try 15 minutes and release your emotions. Yeah, that's what I teach my clients to do. I say that. I say, give yourself a certain amount of time to feel angry, to feel upset. But tell me, when has this served you in your life? Let me know. I want to know. All of you watching right now. When has this actually served you? When you're allowing yourself to feel upset and emotional, but then you stay there for days, weeks, months, maybe even years, God forbid, on end. This is why people stay stuck, because they sit in their emotions of fear and upset and anger. It takes courage to go, I'm going to break my state, and I'm going to stop becoming the victim here. I'm going to stop allowing myself to feeling defeated, and I'm going to do what I need to do to move forward. Right? It is so important. And I know because I've been there. I speak to my clients every day that feel the same thing. Tell me once in your life, where have you ever solved a problem being emotional and defeated towards it? You don't. You don't, because you're in this bubble of there's no solution. I'm the victim. I feel defeated. We are never going to move forward in that space. Marissa, doesn't serve me. Awesome, exactly. Vivian said, makes sense. You're welcome. So guys, I really want you to understand this, all right? Emotions serve us when we need to heal, when we need to move forward internally and shift internally. But they are not going to serve you if you're remaining emotional about things that you don't have control over. Because guess what? Those things you don't have control over aren't going to suddenly change for you. Sometimes we're never going to have control over something. In fact, a lot of the time, we're never going to have control over something. So do you think it's going to serve you to stay emotional and upset about it and fearful about it? Or do you think it's going to serve you to go, right, this is how it is. I need to become unemotional about it. And I need to empower myself again and get into a solution-based mindset to figure out what inspired action can I take to move forward. I know you all know that's the route you need to take in regards to that, right? Yes, just happened to me. My state, I sat in that mindset for 3 days. Then enough was enough. I let it go and felt empowered. Exactly, Kylie. That's exactly what I'm saying. We can, and this is why people are stuck for so many years, because sometimes they allow themselves to remain emotional about something for months, sometimes years, about the same thing. And then they wonder why their business isn't growing, or they wonder why their relationships aren't flourishing, or they wonder why their financial situation isn't changing. Because they've allowed themselves to feel emotional and to feel that side towards it, but they never switch over into that unemotional, what do I need to do? This is how it is. And now I need to find a solution, because if I'm going to move forward, that's my only option. That is my only option. Right? I hope this has helped, guys. Please, please, please share this live stream. Tag someone in it that you think needs to hear it, because I know a lot of us struggle with this. This is something I constantly practice in my daily life. If there's something that doesn't work out, it happens all the time, all the time. Things are never always going to go our way. That's not possible, right? There are going to be things that happen. We don't ever have control over everything. Meaning, with us we do, with other people, no. And a lot of the time, our life experience involves other people. And in those circumstances, we have to determine what we have control over and what we don't, and then get empowered about the things we don't have control over. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Let me know if this has helped you, whether you're watching the replay or you're watching live. I really, really hope this has inspired you or given you a tool to move forward instead of feeling angry and frustrated and defeated and emotional about something in your life right now. If you felt the emotions internally and you have moved through it internally, good. If you haven't, allow yourself to do that first. And then you need to become unemotional if you're going to move forward, all right? Hey Paul, I'm just jumping off now, so go back and watch the beginning of this. Have an awesome Wednesday, guys, or Tuesday night, wherever you are in the world, and I will chat to you all soon. And don't forget, until the 22nd, next Friday, I am giving 4 copies of Gary Vaynerchuk's new book, Crushing It, away, that is released January 30th. I'm giving 4 copies away to you guys as a thank you and a Christmas gift for being epic this year. All right, so go down, there's a post below. Actually, I can probably post the post underneath this video. Make sure you go over and jump on the list because I'm gonna be randomly picking the winners on Friday the 22nd. So next Friday at 12 p.m. live on Facebook. All right, so if you wanna win a copy or if you want a chance to win a copy of his new book, now's your chance to get on board. All right, guys, I will chat to you soon. Sending love. Bye.